Evening, how you doing? Hello Robin, it's nice to see you. That's a bit better. I'm going to wait and see how many. Chris, hello. Hey, I don't know how long this is going to go on for, but this periscope bug that I've been told there is at the moment, which means that down here it says 0 people are watching this. But exactly, hello Clean Easy, hello Boulders, hello Sam, nice to see you. So yeah, if you've been on, if you've done a scope recently, you'll have noticed that it says down here that there's only 0 people watching, and that is actually my hand. It looks strangely disembodied. I won't find out until afterwards quite how many people we had logged in. Jen Hines, it's lovely to see you. And Ian, I spotted you log on. Yeah, telling me we've only got 2 people here, but as long as Jen Hines is here, that's all we need, isn't it? Hello, 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 hello. Don't know if I'm going to last for half an hour tonight. I'm tired tonight. Don't know why. Yes, if you and Jen are here, that's all that we need. But I'm going to talk about networking. I've got a particular bits and pieces that I want to talk about tonight. But as ever, if you've got any questions, hello Mark, hello Ian, hello everyone. If you've got any questions about networking that you want to give to me, hello Caroline. Yeah, so any questions that you've got about networking for me, do pop them down in the comments here. Give me as many hearts as you like, give me as many shares as you like. I was getting quite close, hello Michelle, I was getting quite close to a particular number of hearts earlier on today. I can't remember what it was, but if you give me loads tonight, then I'll get well into one of the thousands. So, any questions about... I'd love you to talk about going deep, says Chris Marr. Hey, the other person who said hello. Hello, Rich. Thank you, Robin, for doing that. I get told off for heating you by GD. Sorry, Sam, I didn't get that at all. Anyway, where are we? 8:31, and I said that we start hearting you. I'm sure. Right. What was I going to talk about? Hello, Angus. Right, anyway, so I'm tired tonight, so I don't know whether I'll last the whole half hour. I've been on the go since about 7 o'clock this morning, but that's actually one of the things that I've got to talk about. And the other thing, which has become really important to me recently, is the great buy my stuff myth in networking. If you've got any questions, pop them down here and I'll try and remember. But I want to talk about the great buy my stuff myth, because there is a huge, huge myth in networking that you should never ever actively try and sell people something. And you get tied up in this thing. Hello from Birmingham, you're talking to Oxfordshire, UK, Dudley Babe. I'm not that, I'm actually not that far away from you. You probably can't tell by my accent. Are you in the BNI? No, I'm not. Jick Nonson, I guess your name is Nick Johnson. I'm not in the BNI, I was in 2006. I've been a member of 4 Networking since 2007. What's the best way to leave an impact if you get... Oh, I missed half of that. I'm really sorry. I got what's the best way to leave an impact. So come back to me and ask me the rest of that question. And I'll remember to look at it. I was answering something else. I'm so sorry. The buy my stuff myth. There's a real fine balance here that you... I'm there as well, Angus, actually. The buy my stuff myth. There's a great... If you only have 10 minutes, there's this great myth that you should never try and sell stuff at networking, and actually it's a no. I don't keep business cards. I scan them in. And use them like that. I don't keep business cards. There's a big myth in networking that you should never go in for sale, and actually I think there's a real fine balance. You shouldn't go in too early and try and sell people stuff. You shouldn't go, bye Sam, bye-bye. You shouldn't go in and immediately start selling to people, but also, thank you, Caroline, I've got it. I've got that now and I'll come back to it. But also, if you never try and sell people something, you really will never make any money, and it makes a nonsense of going networking in the first place. You go networking to win prospects for your business. We all get loads of other benefit out of networking, like the supports, like the friendships, that sort of thing. But in the first instance, you go because you want to sell stuff and you want to develop prospects for your business. What a load of people, I think, forget is that if you just bung a load of prospects in the top of the sales funnel, nothing actually will happen with them. We all believe that the sales funnel is top to bottom, and actually it's not. It almost lies on its side, and you have to do stuff. You have to do stuff. When you've got these contacts at networking, having said I never keep business cards, I've actually got a little pile of them somewhere, but I can't see them. Having collected these business cards from people, you've got to do something to move those sales through, to move those prospects through. You've got to do stuff. Whoever's giving me all these hearts, thank you. You've got to do stuff to follow up with people. Hey, Beiju, how lovely to see you. You've got to do stuff not just to follow up with this people. Following up is a huge part of it, Michael. Not just to follow up, but at some point you have to ask for the business. And I don't know whether it's because we're British, or I don't know if it's about something else, but I think people get a bit shy. Hello, Cammy's Magic from Scotland. We've got Chris Marr from Scotland. We've got Caroline, who I think's from Scotland as well. So you're very much not alone, even though I'm from the south of England. Hello, Rob. Good to see you again as well. Follow-up is my weak point, says Nicky's. Follow-up is everyone's weak point, and if you can be the person who's good at it, you really will win at this. But as well as following up, when you follow up with people, what you're effectively doing is moving them closer to you. You're effectively, excuse me, I think we are scared of being told no, but you know the story about that, Angus. Since I launched the networking retreat, that was a shameless plug. Since I launched the networking retreat, one of the things that I've absolutely realised is that person who I met last week who said they are thinking of coming, I've got loads of choices. I can leave them thinking of coming, and they'll probably still be thinking about it in 3 months' time, or I can follow up with them and see if they want to come. And some of them absolutely never, ever plug myself on here, Angus, buy my book. I follow up. If you don't follow up with people, they'll just go on thinking about it forever. A lot of people will, because they get into their own stuff. They get distracted by their own stuff, and they're more interested in their own stuff than they are. I know you do. They're more interested in their own stuff than they are in the conversation they had with you. So if you never get brave enough to follow up with people, and actually now tells me I've got 76. I think that's a record for me. If you never follow up with people and ask them if they want to buy from you, do you want to go ahead? You never will get that no that Angus talked about. And actually, the no's all right, because you know where you stand with it, and you know that self-interest appeal to it, all the shares, thank you. And no's absolutely fine, but if you never follow up with people, you'll also never get to the to the yeses either. And some of the no's can really, really help you, because maybe you've not put together your product or service properly, maybe you're not packaging it properly, or as someone said to me about 3 weeks ago, I'm not selling the benefits of it enough. I'm not putting enough into it that people understood the benefit that they'd get out. So I changed what I'd written, I changed how I was approaching it, and all of a sudden, people started getting it and people started buying it. I've shut the windows because it's noisy outside, and I'm getting really hot in here. It's not a proper TV studio by any means, but it's warm. So, what you shouldn't do at networking, and I am going to come back to your question, Caroline, I promise. What you shouldn't do at networking is meet someone and say, hi, buy from me, because that don't work. But when you've got people interested in your service, you owe it to them, you owe it to your business, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to whatever you're doing all of this, to occasionally sell to people, to actually pick up the phone and have those conversations with people. I think it's a real, almost a forgotten art. I think people get caught up with just being nice to people. Results speak volumes, absolutely so. One of the things that I'm very clear about, Michael said results speak volumes. One of the things that I'm really clear about with my clients is that I like to get tangible results. So when I coach people, when I work with people on business networking, the attraction marketing being there for when people have already decided they want your stuff. Yeah, I'm going to come back to that. I'm just thinking about that. Jocularity is the aim, to meet them maybe just for a coffee. I'm getting messages from people as well, which I will go and have a look at. But you owe it to yourself to occasionally try and sell to people. I think Jocularity, depending on what sort of meeting you go to, then yes, you absolutely should follow up with people and have a one-to-one. I think, though, that it's not just about having a coffee with people. I think that if you've genuinely got something that you're both interested in, why not be honest and tell them that over the phone? I've been thinking about what you said. I really think that what I'm doing might be of interest. Could we have 10 minutes? I don't mind that sort of honesty with people. I think that just asking people for a coffee actually maybe is the wrong thing to do if people think they're just sitting down for a chat. I think sometimes that we're a bit scared. How do you offer a service to a new client? I'm a building surveyor and we offer consultant service. I've got 3 questions I'm trying to keep in my head at the moment, so I'll do that. I'll answer Michelle's now because it's relevant to now. Attraction marketing and being there when people are ready to buy from you. You have to, I said this last week, you have to build shortcuts or create shortcuts instead of building obstacles. When people are ready to buy from you, I'm a massive multitasker. That could be a job for someone, Angus. When people are ready to buy from you, not only do you have to be there, but you have to make it easy for them to buy from you. You don't put obstacles in the way of people buying from you. That's one of the things that I've really learned, making it easy for people to buy. So it's all very well attracting people to you. And I think what a lot of people do, and a lot of people that I come across, they're really good at attracting people. And then they sort of don't know what to do when people are attracted, when people finally like to buy from them. And when people are attracted, when people finally want to buy from you, it's down to you to say, would you like to go ahead? Or words to that effect. Can I take your credit card details? Where's your money? But it is down to you to do that. And actually, that is ultimately, all of us have to make money from our business. I was going to say that is why we're all in business. It's not why I'm in business. But someone does, it's the reason that keeps all of our businesses going, making money. You do eventually have to go in for the sell. I'm trying to remember the other questions I've got. How do I offer a new service to a client? And Caroline, I need to answer that now because you asked ages ago. So I guess you're doing a 10-minute presentation at a networking event, and you want to know the best way to leave an impression on people. That's what I think I got from your question. One of the real most important things that you can do, thank you Caroline, thank you Jocularity, nice to hear from you. Caroline, one of the things that I'd say, and I'm speaking in not many weeks now at the Content Marketing Academy in Edinburgh, almost said Glasgow, and something that I've been working on over the weekend is the clarity of my message, particularly when you've got 10 minutes. I think if you can work out the one message that you want to get across to people and then work through that. Be really clear on what you're trying to achieve by your presentation. And when I say what you're trying to achieve, be really clear on what you want your audience to achieve by listening to your presentation. If you can do that and then build your presentation in a way that delivers one core message, but in a way that people can understand and really take value from it. And I think when you're doing a presentation at networking, please don't be scared of giving enormous value. Give as much value as you possibly can in that 10 minutes. Don't worry so much about if it's not your thing. Don't worry in the first place about your presentation style. Worry about your content first. You can deal with all of the rest of the stuff after. If you have to read stuff from a piece of paper, looking for a piece of paper. If you have to read stuff from a piece of paper, then do so. But I think work on, firstly, getting your message absolutely right. Thank you, Michael. Lovely to see you. I can't remember who asked me. It was the building surveyor. And I like that. I think, Caroline, I'm talking about being transparent in your charity. I think being transparent in any business or enterprise these days is really important. Hello, Maureen. Lovely to hear from you. Whereabouts are you, Maureen? I don't think we've met before, so it's lovely to see you. Who was the building surveyor who asked the question about how do I introduce a new service to a client? Because I'm just trying to understand, was it about introducing new services to existing clients, or was it about finding John? See, I remembered. I was an estate agent for 20 years and I worked for a chartered surveyor. Do you mean introducing a new service to existing clients or introducing a service to clients generally? A new client, existing services. Hello. We really do have the Scottish contingent in tonight, so it's Maureen, it's lovely to see you. A new client, existing service. I just had to rethink that one. One of the things that I do is I go networking. That's why I'm talking about it tonight. And that if you're looking for a particular type of business and a particular type of clients, it used to be said, if you want to sell to accountants, find out where accountants go and go there. If you go to networking events, I would be really clear about the type of people that you're looking to talk to, because you never know in the room who's going to know, sorry that I can't remember the type of business that you're looking for, who's going to know the type of business that you're trying to talk to. So be specific about what you're looking for. Try and find out where the people you want to do business with go. I'm no expert on LinkedIn, but we've certainly got one on this scope, a guy called Angus Grady. Talk to building surveying services. Talk to people who can help to introduce you to ways to use LinkedIn to get in front of your people. Go to networking events and be really specific about the type of people that you're looking for. And then do not be afraid to follow up with people and actually talk to people. I think that's really, really vital. Take your service to them. One of the things when I talk about making it easy for people to buy from you, do not expect them to come to you. You go to them. Go to the networking events that they go to. Put yourself in front of, not aggressively, but put yourself regularly in front of the people that you want to sell to. Hello, Anthony in Vegas. I've got a lot of people joining in tonight, which is absolutely fab. Have I answered everyone's questions so far, or did I miss any? Or have you got any follow-up questions? I'm watching my Twitter stream at the same time. Okay, the issue is people have existing consultants. I need to basically take their business. I think, John, one of the ways that you can do that is be regularly in front of the people that you want to do business with. If it's like accountants, people don't change their accountants very often. So the accountants who go networking, the accountants who are out there, need to be there all the time. Something else that you can do now, because we have Periscope, we have YouTube, we have Twitter, we have LinkedIn, we have your own blog. One of the expressions that I love and I try out very regularly is become the authority of content. Become the person who is talking about your business more than anyone else on the internet is talking about your business. I spend a lot of time talking about networking, so I end up in the situation where a load of people are listening to me as if I know a load about networking, mainly because I'm the person who talks about it the most at the moment. That's something that I'm making sure that I do. Get yourself out there. Hello Phil, lovely to see you. Be the authority of content. Start talking about your stuff. Start attracting people to you. Meet with other surveyors and collaborate. That's a fantastic idea which I hadn't thought of. Because people tend to have specialities and people tend to have overflow work as well. But I hope that's been helpful. I don't think that's the best answer I've ever given, but I hope that's at least been a little bit helpful. Anyone else got anything else that they want to ask about networking down here? Listen, I'm just going to hold something up. I'm speaking at this event on the 18th of September. That's a fatter version of me last year. Listen, John, it is a difficult business. John says, yes, thank you, difficult business, isn't it? One of the things that I've absolutely learned, John, and that's something else that I meant to talk about tonight, and this is the reason why I started work at 7 o'clock this morning, and at 8:45, I'm still talking to people about networking. There's an American word that Gary Vaynerchuk uses a lot, and I'm not sure whether it translates in England, but that word is hustle. And in order to become the most well-known person about networking, in order to get the speaking gigs, in order to get the second book deal, in order to get those things that I want to achieve in my business, it's really important to me to work super hard. Hustle, says Caroline. Did I do that right? That was in an Oxfordshire accent, no. I think the word sums it up. I wasn't always a fan of the word, actually, but I think being out there as much as you can. Thank you, Anthony in Vegas. That's really kind of you. Anthony, I'm going to tell you, I'm the author of Business Networking for Dummies. If you're at all interested in business networking, please have a look for it on Amazon.com. I'm on an absolute drive at the moment to improve my book sales in America. I've sold a lot of books in the UK. I've sold a few in America. Have you got my book, Maureen? Is that what you're saying? that would be lovely to hear. But hello, Dickie. So yeah, I think, John, that was something else that is really important. You have to be out there all the time. If you want to grow your business, particularly if there's competition, make sure that you're the person who's in people's field of vision all the time. Make sure that people can't ignore you and actually do the hustle. I've not done emojis on where am I? On Periscope yet, but thank you for the emojis. Hello, Lynn. Again, I was talking to you first thing this morning. I'm talking to you almost at bedtime. And Tristan and I managed to miss each other pretty much all day. How do you balance it all, Caroline? It's really difficult. I don't know what you're talking about, me balancing. But yeah, I think that if you're growing a business, if you're really passionate about that business, if you're really passionate about the charities that you work with, then actually it's not much of a balance. I don't watch television. I haven't watched television for a long time. I've got a television over there, but I don't. Yeah, I free up my time, but by not doing the things that really aren't that important to me. Caroline, you're a machine with the connections. Can I gave up with mine as well, Lynn. Caroline, can I say something to you? Those of us who don't think we're working hard enough are very often working a lot harder than everyone else. You pop up everywhere, Caroline. So I think you are balancing it pretty well yourself, actually. I think I'm still referring to John's question. Hello again, Anthony in Vegas. It's lovely to see that Periscope's doing its normal stuff. But it's absolutely, but approaching prospects cold is quite difficult to break the ice. John, tell me where you're based. If you haven't had a look at my book already, then please buy my book on Amazon.com or Amazon.co.uk. There is, I promise, short commercial break, there is a load of information in there about breaking the ice. Amazon.co.uk, John, it's available on there. See, Chris Mars says, icebreaker, what's your favourite cheese? I don't know whether you're saying that tongue-in-cheek, but one of the ways that I always break the ice at networking events, and I'll be doing it tomorrow at 4 Networking in Banbury, I go for the... Sorry, I am rather warm in here. I go for the lowest common denominator. I talk to people about, are they in the way when I'm trying to get to the T? I talk to people about what the traffic was like outside. It's ha-ha, but lowest common denominator makes it really easy. If you're at a networking event, Lynn Blackledge doesn't. Lynn Blackledge bowls up to people and asks them if they'll do a podcast. Best icebreaker is to ask for help. I like that. But I do go for the lowest common denominator if I'm sat at a networking event listening to the speaker. I talk to them about the speaker. You turn to the person next to you and say, what do you think of this guy? And they say, it's Ian Dixon, he's fantastic. I talk to people about the food. I talk to people about the parking. I find the lowest common denominator to start the conversation. Because you're at a networking event, it won't be long. It won't be long at all before people say to you, so what do you do? And then you can start to talk about it. Heart Pimp, tap your screens if you find value here. Yeah, do it, because I'm only going to be around for another 7 or 8 minutes and then I'm off at 9 o'clock. But yeah, I think once you've got the introduction to people, and something that Ian Dixon said just down there a minute ago, ask for help, there's nothing wrong in your 60 seconds or your 40 seconds in saying to people, I'm looking for help. I'm looking for help for you to introduce me to the type of businesses that I'm looking for. You'll be surprised how many people respond really positively to that, because one of the things that I found out about networking groups is that they're enormously supportive. That's great. What about when approaching very affluent clients who are swamped with people? Why? Yeah. Is there a particular reason why you're only looking for... How do you deal with rude people at networking? How do you deal with rude people at networking? I move on. Actually, I move on to the people who aren't rude. Even if I'm forced into a one-to-one with someone who's rude, and I've had a few, 750 for networking meetings, so Someone do the maths for me. 2,250 one-to-ones that I've had. So a few of those, I think that's right. A few of those have been rude. I put up with it for 10 minutes and move on to the next one. I've had some really interesting situations. Rich says, oh, but it's only a couple of hours of your life, isn't it? That's ultimately, that's the deal, and that's how I put it down. I've had rude people. If you look at the video of me speaking at Google HQ when I spoke for 123 Reg, look carefully at the guy sat right in the middle of the front row. He spent the whole event, not just my presentation, but everyone's. He spent the whole event doing his emails. He wasn't taking notes because I was sat behind him, and it's really distracting for the speaker. He spent the whole event just being